Hello and welcome to Reaction Check. We are watching the song from Alibabavum Thirudargalum, directed by T.R Sundaram, released in 1956. Let's go.
आप देख रहे हैं रिएक्शन चेक।
Azhagana Ponnu Naan is sung by Bhanumanthi Ramakrishna. Now this is a song from the 1950s, early 1950s. And I think this is one of the very early South Indian songs that I'm actually going to listen, which was actually shot in the early 1950s, the first half of the 1950s. The cinema was really new at that time, and every industry or everyone was trying to define their own language of cinema, what they wanted to show to the rest of the people which were coming, which was a long line of 50-60 years until now. What we are able to see was defined by these sort of films. Alibabavum Thirudargalum was shot in Jiva color, and this was the first film that was actually in color. The story of this film revolves around Alibaba, and Alibaba's brother is killed by the Kaid Abu Hussein, and the body is kept in the cave. Since Alibaba too has the password, Abu visits him as a merchant with 40 barrels, each one hiding one of his men. This Alibabavum Thirudargalum is from the compilation of Arabian Nights, or 1001 Arabian Stories, which were mostly compiled during the Islamic Golden Age and has influences of Persian, Egyptian, Indian storytellers.
அங்கொண்ணு இழிக்குது ஆந்தை போல் முழிக்குது அங்கொண்ணு இழிக்குது ஆந்தை போல் முழிக்குது ஆட்டத்தை ரசிக்கவில்லை ஆளைத்தான் ரசிக்குது அழகான பொண்ணு நான் அதுக்கேத்த கண்ணுதான் எங்கிட்டே இருப்பதெல்லாம் தன்மானம் ஒண்ணுதான் அழகான பொண்ணு நான் அதுக்கேத்த கண்ணுதான்.
Music is very different. It's not at all the Arabic tune, but it's very distinguishable. It's not what Bollywood was at that time. I mean, Indian films were. I'm sorry, I said Bollywood.
பெண்ஜாதியை தவிக்க விட்டு பேயாட்டம் ஆடுது பெண்ஜாதியை தவிக்க விட்டு பேயாட்டம் ஆடுது பித்தாகி என்னை சுத்தி கைத்தாளம் போடுது அழகான பொண்ணு நான் அதுக்கேத்த கண்ணுதான் அழகான பொண்ணு நான் அதுக்கேத்த கண்ணுதான் எங்கிட்டே இருப்பதெல்லாம் தன்மானம் ஒண்ணுதான் அழகான பொண்ணு நான் அதுக்கேத்த கண்ணுதான்.
This is probably a theater presentation. Something is happening in this film at this stage. I do not remember the story because every culture, every country that actually made any of these Arabic Nights folk story films change a little bit of things to match the current or the generation of that audience that was actually viewing that particular show. This actually is an absolutely brilliant way of presenting the content. That remember, this is 1950s, and one thing I've noticed is that all the actors that you actually see just doing bare minimum there in this particular song was enough to convince the audiences that this was a film or something that was happening, because the way people viewed movies in the 1950s was is very different than how we actually see. We want more realism. We want more things that are very close to our life, and that's what in the 1950s or the early 30s movie with Charlie Chaplin, they just wanted to give people a different kind of experience when they leave their home, sit in the theaters, and that is what I see in this particular song. I do not know about the film. If you have seen the film, probably want to let me know in the comment section, but I'm pretty sure people who watch the film in theater may not be watching these videos, may be very old right now to experience this film with us. But again, this was something that really defined the next generation of filmmakers, actors, and how films were perceived and made. I obviously cannot tell a lot of difference between, I mean, someone who does not know the difference between Hindi or Tamil language will not be able to tell. They will all say that this is old Bollywood film because the music and the way everything was shot is quite similar to what you see in Bollywood films. Make sure you watch these other videos that are popping next to my head. Like this video, share this with someone who enjoys these reaction videos. I'll see you in the next one. Take good care of yourself. Adios.